Okay, let's talk about air. We think we know what it is, right? It's the oxygen we breathe, the wind on our faces. But what if it's more than that? A lot more. Today, we're going way beyond the science textbooks to explore the unseen, mystical qualities of air, looking at it not just as a gas, but as a living, breathing medium that connects every single one of us.
So, check out this quote that really kicks things off for us. It asks us to completely reimagine the air. It's not empty space. Instead, it's this rich, invisible tapestry that's full of information, full of secrets, the actual whispers of the universe. This idea really sets the stage for our entire journey today, learning to see the air all around us with a whole new sense of wonder.
So, to really get our heads around this perspective, we have to go back, and I mean way back, to the very beginning. Let's dive into air's role in the cosmic origin story, as our source material lays it out. Now, what's really wild here is the order this all happens in. In this view, air isn't some byproduct of a planet forming. No, it's a foundational element that comes right out of the void. And from this primordial air, the first living beings draw their essence. Get this, even our consciousness, our very thoughts, are said to ride along its subtle currents. The idea is that air is this invisible, guiding force behind the whole story of life.
Okay, so if air is this foundational building block, then what does it do? Well, according to this perspective, one of its main jobs is to act as a universal connector, a great messenger that actually builds a bridge between different worlds.
And this is the key, right? Air is always moving, it's always transporting something. We see the obvious stuff every day. It carries seeds for plants, it's the vessel that brings sound to our ears, the messenger for every scent we smell. But this idea takes it a huge step further, into the metaphysical. That very same air is seen as the carrier of our prayers, a vessel for unspoken communication, connecting us to something way beyond the tangible world. And this really shows you those two sides of the coin. On one hand, you've got the physical realm. You know, a bird uses air to fly. Simple enough. On the other hand, you have the metaphysical realm, where that same air is seen as a medium for our intentions, our thoughts, and even for cosmic vibrations. It's the invisible bridge that allows these two worlds to touch. All right, so if air is this giant repository of information, this bridge between worlds, well, how do you access it? This brings us to the mystic's perspective, and this idea of learning to read a kind of hidden language that's all around us. Okay, this is where it gets really cool. The source talks about three kinds of information carried on the wind. First, the whispers, the idea that our thoughts create actual tangible ripples in the air. I mean, think about that feeling when you walk into a room after an argument and you can just feel the tension, right? Or when a friend just pops into your head seconds before they call. This view says those aren't just feelings, that's real information being carried on the air. Then you've got the memories. This incredible idea that the very air we're breathing right now was once breathed by prophets and kings and everyone who came before us. And finally, the prophecies, this poetic idea that future events cast shadows ahead of them, which you can actually sense in the air's currents. It's like viewing the air as a universal atmospheric library. Now, before we jump into the how-to, there's a really important concept we need to grasp, and that's prana. In this context, think of prana as the vital life energy that's in the air. So prana circulation isn't just about breathing oxygen, it's about consciously directing this subtle energy through your body, using your breath as the guide. This is the mechanism for interacting with that atmospheric library we were just talking about. And that brings us to our final part, the practical side of things. How do we go from just talking about this to actually doing it? How can someone start to consciously connect with these ethereal currents? Well, the source breaks this down into 4 steps. You start by attuning, which is really just becoming more sensitive to the subtle energy around you, like feeling a faint breeze on your skin that you wouldn't normally notice. Then you practice conscious breathing, trying to sync your personal rhythm with what are described as these larger cosmic patterns. From there, it's about directional intent. You start guiding these energies with your focus, kind of like a sailor using a rudder to steer a boat. And finally, you work on vibrational harmony, aligning your own frequency, your own vibration with the outcome you want. It's all about moving from a passive observer to an active participant. You know, what's really amazing about this is that you don't need to go anywhere special to do it. No ancient temple, no sacred mountain. The practice itself is what creates the sacred space. Through this intentional, rhythmic breathing, your own body, it becomes the temple, the altar, where this connection with the air happens. And this quote, this is really the heart of the whole idea.
The ultimate goal, the core message, is all about the dissolution of boundaries. It's about letting go of the idea that we're separate beings just moving through the air and realizing that we are, in a very real sense, extensions of the air itself. To master it is to recognize that fundamental unity. So we'll leave you with this thought. After exploring air as this cosmic source, a great messenger, and a library of secrets, the final question really becomes a personal one, doesn't it? If the air around you truly is this living tapestry of information and memory, what whispers might be waiting for you to simply stop and listen?